Alex, brought to you by Shell. Swing by a participating Shell station for a buy one get one free ice cream voucher from Cold Stone Creamery. Crisp will swing at the next pitch and sky it to shallow left field. Carlos Gonzalez comes in and makes the play. Alex White gets the first man he faces in Coco Crisp. The Athletics have done a pretty good job in this series getting leadoff men to start innings on base. So you like that Crisp was retired there. Now another switch hitter, Cliff Pennington, and he'll take a strike, a fastball in the low 90s from White. Pennington at 209 on the year, a couple of homers, 12 RBIs for the shortstop. Swing and a miss. Good giddy up on that fastball. It's quickly 0-2. Pennington 2 for 8 in the series. From the left side, the 0-2 pitch, high fastball, is fouled out of play.
That's a four-seamer from Alex White right there. When he gets ahead, and once in a while, he'll try to pop that four-seamer up in the zone and try to get somebody to chase it there. Just catching a piece of that one, Pennington.
Outfield shaded a little bit the opposite way for Pennington. White holding that glove right under his face as he takes the sign. The pitch outside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll see Alex utilize the split finger as his changeup. That was it right there. Still a work in progress for the young pitcher. He winds the 1-2 swing and a miss with some high cheese, and Pennington is a strikeout victim for out number 2.
Jack and I were talking to some media members of the A's before the game and saying, hey, last year when Alex White came up, that fastball was 90, maybe 91. The four-seamer now is 94, 95. So obviously the finger was a little more serious in working back at his velocity last year than people realized. But hey, when you have a four-seamer you can throw at 95, you've got something plus that sinker to go with it.
He'll get another left-handed hitter, and Josh Reddick, the right fielder, and he'll fire in a strike with the two-seam fastball there down in the zone. Reddick at 267, 14 homers for the former Boston Red Sox, 30 runs batted in. He'll beat the shift as he slaps it the opposite way to left field for the first hit of the afternoon. The Rockies had taken Scudero and positioned him really right behind second base, but he was able, Reddick, to knock it the other way, and it's a base runner for Oakland.
You know, I think that pitch was designed to go low and in. It went low and outside, and a nice piece of hitting by Reddick just to go with the pitch.
You know, when you create an exaggerated defense, you then have to pitch to your defense.
You see that with teams with Jason Giambi all the time. Hey, they're going to put the shift on. They're going to throw him inside if they can.
Rockies keep the shift on for Seth Smith, with Scudero well onto the right side of the infield, joining Nelson between first and second, and the first pitch is a slider that drops in for a strike. Seth Smith's had a good return to Denver, 4 for 9 in the series, a homer, 3 doubles, and 4 runs batted in. Hitting .269 on the year, 6 homers, 21 RBIs. 0-1 pitch to him. Fastball too low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Got started at 1:10 Mountain Daylight Time, 79 degrees at first pitch. Game time and temperature brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company. Honey Smoked Fish available at Costco, King Soopers, Sam's Clubs, and Safeway. Reddick has stolen 6 bases in 6 tries. Colvin holds him on over at first. The 1-1 pitch is high, and Rosario bluffed to throw down to first. 2 balls and a strike on Smith. So you have Chris Nelson almost completely into that 3-4 hole between the first and second baseman, and Scudero well around to the right side of second, and Pacheco, the third baseman, playing really like a shortstop would play many times against a left-handed batter. So there's a good 75 feet of open space on the left side of the infield. Outfield is also shaded a little bit the opposite way. They're deep. 2-1 pitch to Smith. Swing and a miss. There was the splitter thrown effectively. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No score. The A's with a 2-out single from Josh Reddick. He's at first. Just underway here on a gorgeous afternoon. A little bit of a breeze blowing out of the northwest. And the clouds are just on the horizon. Just blue sky overhead. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him with the breaking ball. 2 strikeouts for Alex White. No score as the Rockies come to bat on the Rockies Radio Network. Gave up a hit, but no damage, and no score as the Rockies go to work against right-hander Jared Parker. This guy, they've been talking about him for a couple of years now. His first pitch is outside for ball 1. Dexter Fowler, switch hitter, batting left-handed, hitting .273 with 8 homers and 28 runs batted in. Dex checks his swing, but the pitch is in there for a strike. Of course, the last 2 years sharing the facilities in Scottsdale at Salt River Fields, a talking stick with the Diamondbacks. Line drive into center field, base hit for Dexter Fowler. Might have caught it off the end of the bat, but the Rockies will take having the leadoff man on. But Jared was starting to say, I mean, all you did when you talked to the Diamondbacks people, they raved about Jared Parker.
Yep, absolutely, thinking that he's going to be a great pitcher someday. Well, it may turn out to be that he's with the A's as the great pitcher instead of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And it seemed like, Jack, the last couple of years, every time he picked up a national publication, whether it be Baseball America or something else, Jared Parker's name was always on the top of those lists in terms of guys that were going to advance very quickly in an organization.
23-year-old out of the state of Indiana, and probably only because the Diamondbacks had other young pitching prospects in Wade Miley and Trevor Bauer among others, that they wanted some veteran help right now and had to trade Parker to get Trevor Cahill. Pitch in the dirt to Scutaro, showed bunt. Nice block by Suzuki. Ball 1 to Marco. Scutaro coming off a 4-hit night last night. Batting average up to .280 for the veteran. 3 homers, 16 runs batted in. Throw to first. The throw from Parker was offline, and Fowler got back rather easily, even though he dove into the bag. Rockies have scored more first inning runs than any team in baseball. They'd love to keep it going this afternoon. They wish more often than not it would give them the impetus to a victory, but another chance today to jump on the opposition and make it stick. 2-0 the count on Scudero. Fowler off to his lead at first. The pitch to Marco. He takes it for a strike. As we laughed about, maybe a little Gallows laughing, I guess. I said 64. It's 54 runs for the Rockies in the first inning, but their opponents have scored 50. Another throw to first. This one a little closer. However you want to slice it, the first innings are usually interesting. Home or road.
Yeah, interesting is the right word there for the opponent and for the Rockies this year.
Parker, long pause. There goes Fowler. The 2-1 pitch is hit towards left center field. A long run for Crisp, but he'll get there and make the catch. And Fowler will retreat to first. That ball, with the way the wind, when it blows out of the northwest, sort of stood it up a little bit, and that enabled Crisp to cover a lot of ground and make the catch.
Hit and run looked like was on there for the Rockies, and what you hope as a hitter is you get something out over the plate you can drive the other way behind the runner, but the ball was inside, and Scudero just did all he could to make contact. Kind of got the ball off the hand a little bit, and as Jack described, hung up there a little bit in left center field.
Carlos Gonzalez will dig in. The Rockies' number 3 hitter had the day off last night. Cargo hitting at .323. 16 homers and 48 runs batted in. Parker with yet another throw to first base. Carlos comes in 7th in the league in batting, 2nd in homers, and 2nd in runs batted in. He'll swing and foul a fastball to the screen. Inexplicably, however, with all of those numbers, in the last voting for the All-Star game, he was 10th among outfielders. One on, one out, no score. Bottom of the first. 1 strike pitch. There goes Fowler. The throw down to second is in time by Kurt Suzuki. He cuts down Dexter Fowler. That's the first time this year that Dexter has been thrown out trying to steal.
I didn't think Suzuki got rid of that ball that quickly. Kind of took a little extra half a step, but just a great throw. Throw is right where it needed to be. First base side of the bag, at second base for the out.
Pitch was called a strike as well, so now 2 outs, nobody on, and a 2-strike count on Gonzalez. Parker fires, missed high and away. Suzuki had all kinds of trouble at the beginning of the year throwing out base stealers, and he has gotten 5 of his last 8. 1-2 pitch, bounced it to home plate with an off-speed delivery. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Michael Kadire waiting on deck. The on deck circle brought to you by the Deck Superstore. Build a better deck. For more information, search for Deck Superstore on the web. 2-2 pitch. Pop up, foul ground, third base side, and the ball will get into the seats. Brandon Inge took a look.
There's something interesting, at least it is to me. Jared Parker staying in a stretch with nobody on and 2 outs against Carlos Gonzalez. He'd worked from the windup to the first hitter, Fowler.
Once in a while you see somebody they just maybe felt more comfortable warming up that way. A's have a shift on. Rosales, the second baseman, way out into right field, swinging and a miss on a changeup. Gonzalez down on strikes, and the Rockies are gone in the first. No score after 1 on the Rockies Radio Network. with a hit in the first inning, but no score as we move to the second. Ready to call it for you. Here's Jerry Schemmel.
Thank you, Jack. 5, 6, and 7 coming up for Oakland. Brandon Inge, the veteran infielder, will hit first for the A's. He's had a good series against the Rockies, 4 for 8 with a home run, 5 RBIs in the 2 games prior to today. And lately really been hitting the ball well. Last 9 games, a .406 clip. Right-handed hitter as Alex White goes to work. He gave up a first inning single to Reddick, but then struck out Seth Smith to get the third out. Fastball inside, ball 1 to Inge. I-N-G-E, Brandon Inge. 11 years with the Detroit Tigers before they let him go earlier this season. The pitch just fouled right back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Alex White. Today for White, first start against the Oakland A's. Interleague play, he's had 3 starts. He's 0-2, but a decent ERA, 3.94 for Alex. 1-1 pitch is a grounder hit weakly towards second, grabbed there by Scudero. He'll throw to first base to Tyler Colvin, manning first base today for out number 1. For every home run the Rockies hit again this year, the Berg Simpson Law Firm makes a generous donation to Craig Hospital. For information, go to bergsimpson.com. Berg Simpson, good lawyers, changing lives. 1 away for Brandon Moss. So Brandon Inge followed by Brandon Moss, who also has had a big series against the Rockies. How about 3 home runs, 3 hits, all homers. Fastball is high for ball 1 to Brandon Moss. 3 for 8 in the series. All solo homers. 5 RBIs. He struck out 5 times. Here's a pitch. And it missed outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Brandon Moss from Monroe, Georgia. He had committed to play college ball at University of Georgia as a pitcher. We're going to let him hit as well and play some outfield. Now he's playing first base. Here's a pitch, and it's fouled away off to the left side. Passed up the opportunity to play college baseball after he was drafted, and was drafted as a pitcher. In fact, the first couple of years in the minors he was a pitcher. Switching over to hitter, and he's had an interesting start to the year. 5 for 21 at the plate on the season, and 4 of those hits are home runs. Open stance from the left side. The pitch by White's on the way, line down the right field line. It's trouble. It's in the corner. And off the wall, retrieving is Kadir, and holding at second will be Moss. There's his first hit in the series that isn't a home run. It's a 1-out double down the right field side.
Well, he's a guy who searches for the fastball, and that one in an area where he could turn on it. It was on the inner half, but it was up, and he was able to lace it into the corner.
And we get Kurt Suzuki up there with the runner in scoring position now with 1 away. Suzuki played game 1 of this series against the Rockies, was 1 for 4. His last 4 games, 5 for 13, so he's picking up things offensively. Here's a pitch, and it's right there for strike 1. And that has been the trend as a team for Oakland. It's a team, the A's, still last in the American League in runs scored, but their last 11 games they're hitting almost 300 as a team. Rockies facing a team on the year not hitting and not scoring runs, but not lately. Same way with the Mariners when they came to town. Pitch is outside by Alex White, a ball and a strike. Suzuki for the year at .219. No homers. He has 16 runs driven in. He has hit safely in all 4 career games now against the Rockies. 6 for 17 in that stretch. Time given to Suzuki at the plate as White steps off the rubber. Now back on, and the right-hander going back to work. 1-1 pitch. Fastball's inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Suzuki. Last year, the veteran from Cal State Fullerton hit .237. He had 14 homers, 44 RBIs in a solid year, and has always been that very good defensive player. Native of Hawaii, right-handed stick. Alex White working from a stretch. 2 balls and a strike to Suzuki. 1 away with a runner at second. No score. We're top of second. And the pitch, line to center field. Dexter Fowler coming on, plays a ball in a hop, and holding at third base will be Brandon Moss. Solid single to center, but the ball hit right at the center fielder Fowler, and no chance for Moss to try to score. And now runners to the corners for Oakland, and 1 down.
Well, and in both situations, the double by Moss and the single there by Suzuki, it was on a 2-1 pitch. Alex White falling behind in the count and giving up too much of the plate to an Oakland hitter.
Let's get 10 seconds here for station identification. Broadcast of Rockies baseball driven by Mazda. No score, top of the second inning, but the A's are threatening. First and third and 1 down. Adam Rosales, the second baseman, the hitter, bouncing ball toward third. The plays at first base. Pacheco throws the ball offline and gets down the right field line. Colvin chasing it down. A run is scored. Another one will score. Throw goes to third base. The A's have taken the early lead. 2-0 Oakland.
A chopper up the line, and Jordan Pacheco tried to throw on the run. Tyler Colvin, not the most experienced first baseman, couldn't handle the hop. It really was the only play available to Pacheco. He wasn't going to get Moss at the plate and wasn't on the right angle to make a play at second base. And instead, the throwing error ends up allowing a second run to score.
Here's a pitcher, Jared Parker, with 1 down, runner at second base. And here's a pitch to Parker. He'll let that go. It's a fastball outside, ball 1. Parker 0 for 2 on the season. He is 1 for 4 in his career. Right-handed hitter, open stands for Jared Parker. White working from that stretch. Here's a pitch. Fouled out of play down the right field side. Parker taking a pretty good swing on a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rockies in last night's game trailed 2-0 after the first half an inning, but came storming back in the bottom of the first with 5 runs. They're down 2-0 early this afternoon. Rosales at second base, 1 away. He's got his lead away from the bag. And here's the 1-1 pitch. It's outside again to Parker. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mike Gallego, third base coach. Former Rockies third base coach. Ty Waller over at first for Oakland. White delivers a 2-1 pitch. It's hit foul down the right field side again. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A's have won 2 in the series, of course, after dropping 3. They got swept in a series in Arizona before they got here in interleague play. So now 3-5 on the year for the A's against the National League. And they got 2 series coming up, both at home. They got San Diego and the Dodgers at home. 3 games apiece coming up. The pitch, chop foul at the plate as Parker stays alive with his at bat. The last series sweep for the A's last September in a series against Seattle. So they have not swept a series this year. Not swept a series on the road since late 2010. They're trying to get something done they haven't done for a while. And the Rockies trying to spoil the party today. Alex White working on his counterpart. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. The fastball's outside, and it's 3-2. So White gets that baseball back, toes the rubber, working against Parker with a runner at second base and a full count. There is first base open, but you got the top of the order coming up. You got the pitcher here. Scudero dancing around second base, trying to keep the runner close. There's a swing and a miss, and strike 3. Elevated a fastball, got Parker to chase. 2 away. Don't forget about the Rockies Super Suites Conference Center at Coors Field, available for your game day or non-game day meetings. Groups of 25 to 200 can enjoy this unique meeting space. For information, call the Rockies anytime. And the number again, 303 Rockies.
Bob Apodaca, right after the strikeout, headed to the mound. This is strictly strategy in terms of how to deal with Coco Crisp and make sure everybody's squared away on what they want to do here. You want to limit the damage right here to a couple of runs.
Switch hitters in succession here. You've got Crisp and Pennington, both switch hitters, both hitting left-handed. Crisp flied to shallow left his first time up. Alex White, glove out in front of his face. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Took something off that pitch, an 83-mile-an-hour slider, strike one to Crisp.
Well, when he learns to consistently throw that slightly slower slider that has then a little bit more movement, that's the breakthrough step, I think, for Alex White.
We talked about that last night with Outman. Pitch to Crisp is right there for a strike with a fastball. Josh, a couple times in last night's game, had taken something off the slider, low 80s rather than mid to upper 80s, and it was very effective. He's got the A's center fielder down 0-2. White now breaks off the rubber, and he'll get the signs again from Willeen Rosario. The pitch, ground ball left side. Scudero's got it. No play anywhere. He slid to his knees on the backhand. Runner gets to third, and Crisp over to first base. It'll be an infield single. No chance at all for anybody to get thrown out on that play, especially the way Crisp runs. So first and third, two down for Oakland.
Well, as we saw him do last night when he started that ninth inning rally, when Coco Crisp gets to two strikes, he really shortens up, and that actually was a little bit of tough luck for the Rockies there, because he really flew open his front side, but kind of kept the bat in the hitting area and was able to get the ball into a good spot on the ground the opposite way.
A nice job defensively by Scudero to save a run on that play. That ball gets the outfield, the run does score. Now Cliff Pennington. The pitch is a bouncing ball foul up the first base side. Pennington struck out his first time up. So Alex White has two down. He has runners at first and third, and he has a runner with a lot of speed over at first. He's got to be careful with Crisp. Josh Reddick is on deck. Tyler Colvin playing first, holds the runner there. And a throw over there by Alex White gets Crisp back to the bag. Two nothing Oakland. They put across two in this top of the second inning. White ready. Here's the pitch, and it just misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cliff Pennington, the switch hitting shortstop for the A's. Pennington at just 208 for the year, a couple of homers and 12 RBIs. Coco Crisp with 32 straight stolen bases without being thrown out. You watch him, he doesn't get a big lead, but he gets great jumps, and man, can he fly once he gets going. There he goes. The pitch on the way, hit into shallow right center field. Fowler coming on. Dexter on the run, will get there to make the catch, and this side is retired. Oakland scores a couple of times the top of the second inning to take the early lead. 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second on the Rockies Radio Network. 2-0 Oakland, bottom of the second at Coors Field. Beautiful weather day again here in Denver. Sunshiny skies. We had 79 degrees at game time, still there. Michael Kadire at the plate, the cleanup hitter for Colorado. And the pitch by Jared Parker in there at the knee, strike one. Big night for Kadire last night. One of the best of his very strong career. 4 for 4, a double, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Got tied up there, swing and a miss on a fastball in on his hands. 0-2. So Kadire now at 284 with 9 homers and 42 RBIs. Second of the team behind Gonzalez. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Might have been actually a slider. Something off speed to Kadire, and he's a strikeout victim. Second for Jared Parker. Struck out Gonzalez to end the first. It'll bring up Tyler Colvin. Second inning brought to you by Phillips 66. Go to participating Phillips 66 for a buy one get one free ice cream voucher from Cold Stone Creamery. Tyler Colvin, after a couple of great ball games back to back, 0 for 5 in last night's affair. On the homestand, though, 7 for 15 at the plate. And a look at a first pitch in there, strike one. 4 homers among those 7 hits and 6 RBIs in the homestand for Colvin. On the year, 291, 7 homers and 19 RBIs. Pitch, swing and a miss. He looked a little late on that fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Rockies' first baseman today. Saw him in left field in last night's game with Gonzalez getting the night off. And Carlos back in the lineup today. Jared Parker saying yes to a sign. The 0-2 pitch on the way to Colvin, and a ground ball weakly hit toward first base. Moss has it, flips to his pitcher. Parker covering the bag, and there are 2 away.
Well, in his last 3 starts, Jared Parker had walked 12 men in 19 innings. He has only thrown 5 out of the strike zone through the first 6 hitters. Through first 5 hitters, excuse me. This number 6 now with Pacheco.
Jordan steps up there with 2 outs and nobody on. He is hitting .302 for the year, has a homer and 14 RBIs. He had a couple of hits in last night's ball game. 6 for 18 in the homestand for Pacheco. And the pitch low, ball 1. Since the 15th of May, a .327 clip for Jordan Pacheco. And that .302 average overall this year, second among National League rookies. The pitch, a ground ball, foul down the left field line. 1 ball, 1 strike to Pacheco. Jared Parker, a first-round pick of the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2007. He was a number 9 pick overall in that first round. He was the first high school pitcher to be taken in 2007. Minors then, and then for a couple more years, and then Tommy John surgery in 2010. Missed the entire year. And traded to Oakland during the offseason. 1-1 pitch, low to Jordan Pacheco, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and it makes it count 2-1. 6'1" and 195 pounds, is 23 years of age. I mentioned he's from the state of Indiana. He was the Indiana Player of the Year in 2007. Swing and a foul at the plate off the bat of Pacheco. 2-2. Summer after his junior year of high school, he played the national junior team. That was in 2006, and they ended up being world champions. He turned a lot of heads. He was the ace of that team on the mound. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss as Pacheco's out ahead of that changeup, which is a dandy from Jared Parker. 1-2-3 second inning with a couple of strikeouts. He struck out 3 of the last 4 Rockies he has faced. We'll go on to the third. 2-0 A's on the Rockies Radio Network. 2-0. Rockies are trailing. We're top of the third at Coors Field. Alex White getting set to go to work in this third inning. Get that heart of the Oakland order coming up. 3, 4, and 5. Reddick, Smith, and Inge. Back in the first inning, couple of strikeouts for Alex White. He gave up a 2-out single to Josh Reddick, who'll be the first hitter here in this inning. Then the A's touched him up for a couple of runs on a couple of hits. Just one of those was earned back in the second. So here's Reddick, who has one of his team's 4 hits this afternoon. Hitting now .270 on the year. He's got some pop in that bat. 14 homers, 30 RBIs. Did not play in last night's game. We saw him in game 1. The pitch is right there for strike 1 to Josh Reddick. 3 years for the Boston Red Sox for Reddick before a trade in the offseason to the A's. Last year, 87 games over 2 stints in Boston. Hit .280. The pitch just missing low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. A year ago, 7 homers, 28 RBIs. 1 for 5 in the series. He was 0 for 4 in game 1. Here's a pitch by White, and it's hit to left field shallow. Carlos Gonzalez coming on. Cargo's going to dive, and he can't get it. It bounces past him and picked up there by Marco Scutaro. Into second base goes Josh Reddick. Hit the ball the other way, I think off the end of the bat, and just flared it out beyond Scutaro and in front of Carlos Gonzalez for a hit.
The A's have 5 hits in the game, 2 flares and an infield hit among the 5. Cargo made a good effort. Fully extended, just couldn't come up with the ball.
Seth Smith steps in now. Strikeout victim with Alex White his first time up in the first inning. That ended that first frame. And Smith is swinging a real hot bat these days. Reddick away from second. Scutaro trying to keep him close. A long look for a sign by Alex White. Now he has it. And the pitch. Just missed outside with the fastball. 1-0. 4 for 10 in the series for Seth Smith with a homer, 3 doubles. He has driven in 4. He is 15 for his last 30 at the plate. So that goes beyond when he started this series against the Rockies. Swinging a hot bat back before he got to town. Pitch outside, 2-0 to Seth Smith. He has hit safely in all 8 interleague games this year. This is number 9 for Seth Smith. Interleague play, 12 out of 28 at the plate. Well over 400. Nobody out. Runner at second. Alex White from the stretch. And a 2-0 pitch to Smith is down low. 3 balls and no strikes. In that stretch for Seth Smith of hitting .500 over the last week or so, he has raised his average almost 60 points. Slow start, but he's picking things up. .268 now in the year. Pitch on 3-0, just missing low and away. It's ball 4. Puts runners at first and second for Oakland and nobody out. Brandon Inge now, right-handed hitter, will come up there.
Alex looked like he was not going to give in to Seth Smith when he fell behind 2-0. The last 2 pitches both down and away, and he ran off the plate enough that Seth Smith, with the count in his favor, didn't chase after them.
Well, he had a series of factors. He had a base open, a left-handed hitter, and a hot hitter up there. And now he's at first base. You set up the force play. Brandon Inge grounded out to short first time up. And the first pitch he sees low, ball 1 with a slider. Alex White been good this year at inducing ground balls. He sure could use one at somebody here. All right, he's ready. Here's the pitch to Inge. Swing and a miss. Came back with a fastball with some good tailing action on it, dipping down against the right-hander at the end. 1-1 the count on Brandon Inge.
Very good sinker there.
Smith at first, Reddick at second base. Tyler Colvin playing behind the runner. Chris Nelson trying to keep the runner at second as close as he can to that bag. Alex White trying to get on the same page with the sign. Steps off the back of the rubber. And now looking in, has it from Rosario. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that is a called strike 2. Fastball at 94, just on the outside edge, down low by the knees again. 1-2. Brandon Inge pretty much straight away with his stance, pretty upright as well. He's right there on the plate, likes to crowd it. Way to look at second, the 1-2 pitch swing and a missed strike 3. Threw him a fastball that had good sinking action on it, and Inge swung right over the top. First out of the inning.
Now that two-seamer there, down and in, very nice execution. It's like Jim Tracy said, you know, for all of our starting pitchers right now, it's not just throwing strikes, it's making good pitches, and that was an excellent pitch.
92-mile-an-hour sinker that dropped down near the ground. That's clocked from the Timothy's of Colorado Fine Jewelry speed gun. Brandon Moss, the hitter now. First pitch he sees is low, ball 1. He doubled his first time up. Scored one of his team's runs back in the second inning. Alex White gets a new baseball, rubs that down, and goes to work getting the sign from his battery mate, Willeen Rosario. Here's a 1-0 to Moss, and that one gets by the catcher, bounces off the backstop and out back to the pitcher, and the runners advance. Boy, if Rosario can grab that ball coming back to him on the slingshot, he's got a chance to throw at third base, but he couldn't get it. It went to Alex White.
Yeah, he got crossed up by that splitter, and then the ricochet, he was blocked off by the hitter and the umpire trying to get to that ball. Alex overthrew that splitter. That was a 90-mile-an-hour splitter. He usually is 4 or 5 miles an hour slower with that pitch.
And now runners at second and third and 1 out. The count is 2 balls, no strikes to Brandon Moss. Here's a pitch by White, and he's fouled it away. Back to the backstop. Got him on the hands that time on a fastball. 2-1.
This is a guy who's a fly ball hitter. He doesn't hit many ground balls, but you shake your head over the wild pitch taking away the possibility of a double play ground ball.
Rockies infield is back. Pacheco at third, playing about a couple steps back of the bag. Here's a pitch to Moss. It almost hit him. The fastball he had to spin away from. 3-1. Colvin about the same way at first base, and then Scudero and Nelson way back up the middle. Left-handed hitter here, and there is that base open at first. Suzuki is a right-handed hitter. He's on deck. White working still from the stretch, and delivers a 3-1, and it's fouled away off the left side. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the right. Our broadcast of Rockies baseball driven by Mazda. Jerry Schimmel with Jack Corrigan, producer engineer Mike Bertolo at Coors Field. Early lead belonging to the visitors. The Oakland A's 2, the Rockies nothing. Top of the third. Runners at second and third for Oakland. 1 down. Full count on the hitter Brandon Moss. Here's the pitch. It's this one to right field. Going back is Kadair, and it is off the wall. 1 run is scored. 2 runs will score. Kadair having trouble coming up with the ball. Gets it into second. On to third goes Brandon Moss. He's got himself a 2-run triple. 4-0 Oakland.
They may rule that a double and an error because Moss had slowed up at second base. We'll wait for the call, but on a 3-2 pitch. Alex White trying to throw something off speed and down. It didn't get down enough. Michael Kadire took his head off the ball, and it is a double and an error. But the RBIs are good, so it is 4-0.
Infield in now for the Rockies with a runner at third and one out. And Suzuki, the hitter, fouls the first pitch right back to the screen. So 2 in the second for Oakland, 2 more here in the third. An error helped out the cause for Oakland last inning. Same way here as Kadire bobbled the ball, then couldn't pick it up. Suzuki, a single and a run scored his first time up. That was the last inning. Working still from the stretch is White. The pitch, a ground ball right to the shortstop. He checks the runner back to third. Scudero to first base to get the out. And 2 away in the Oakland third.
Well, and you look at the rookies in White and Rosario. Brandon Moss, who's hit 3 homers and had doubled earlier in the game. You had a 3-2 count. You had a base open, and you want to make a quality pitch. They wanted to throw something off speed. They just didn't execute it and gave Moss the chance to hook it to right.
I thought they might do the same thing they did to Smith and really work around him as best they could with that base open, but Jack said the mistake is made. Adam Rosales is going to be intentionally walked to get to Jared Parker. There's, of course, second and first open at this point. And there's ball 3. So the Rockies will try to get Jared Parker out for the second time in the ball game. 4 runs on 6 hits. Rockies have 2 errors to help out the Oakland cause. 4-0 A's. There's ball 4 as Rosales hustles down to first base and Jared Parker up to the plate. Struck out his first time, battled White pretty well, but struck out against Alex White. Parker took a long look toward third base, but Mike Gallego, with no sign, throwing it all his way. Colvin holding the runner at first base. Moss at third. Rosales at first. Here's a pitch to Parker. Ground ball foul up the third base side. Alex White has that new baseball. The second-year player from North Carolina gets set. And the pitch is on the way, and that one is bounced towards shortstop, charged by Scudero on the run. He will flip over to first base to get the out, and this side is retired. That was a Geico 15th out of the game. Call 1-800-947-AUTO to get a free quote from Geico on auto and renter's insurance. Oakland 4, the Rockies nothing. We're bottom of the third inning. Jared Parker made that last out, so he's slow to get out there. He's taking his time to get his warm-up pitches in, and he'll face the bottom of the Rockies order with Rosario, Nelson, and Alex White. He's faced the minimum. Did give up a first inning single to Fowler, but then Dexter caught stealing. Second inning was clean with a couple of strikeouts for this young right-hander. Jared Parker facing first Wallin Rosario. Here we go. Righty on righty. The pitch on the way. Hit to center field. Chris going back, but he's going to have room and makes the catch. Boy, that ball carried pretty well up onto the track for Coco Crisp. One pitch and one out for Jared Parker. And it gets Chris Nelson up there. Nelson make another start on the infield for the Rockies. He was 0 for 2 with a couple of walks last time out. In the homestand, he's now 3 for 13 with a homer and a couple of runs batted in. He's over 300 at Coors Field. He's 305 in this ballpark this year and 226 on the season. Parker delivers. He'll take a pitch, and it's there for strike one. And you see a lot of players do this. The man in front of them hits a pitch for an out, sees one pitch, going to take a few. This one grounded up the middle into center field for a base hit. Jared Parker mad at himself. He didn't snag that ground ball, went right under his glove. It was his second hit for the Rockies, first since the leadoff single by Fowler in the first inning.
Parker falls off towards the first base side of the mound on his delivery, and he just wasn't in position to reach back over his shoulder and make a play on that ball.
Alex White's up there looking to bunt. He's already squared the bunt. Here comes the pitch, and he bunts it foul at the plate. Alex has 14 at bats, one hit, 1 for 14 this season. It's a double.
That caught Kurt Suzuki, the bunt foul, right on his right hand, his throwing hand.
4 runs on 6 hits for the A's. The Rockies no runs, 2 hits, and a couple of errors. The line score brought to you by Century Casino in Central City. In June, you can enter to win 200 and 500 cash drawings and a brand new Toyota Prius. Come for the action, stay for the fun. White pulls a bat back this time and takes it for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Alex White. Rich Dower goes through signs. He's got the runner at first base, Nelson, 1 away. White's already up in the front of the batter's box. He's a right-handed hitter, and he's showing bunt already. Good lead for Nelson at first. Here comes a pitch. Pulls a bat back. It's low again, and it's 2-1. Alex trying to get a man in a scoring position. Dexter Fowler is on deck. Inge is on the grass at third base. Moss charging from first. The bunt attempt is fouled at the plate. 2 strikes on White, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Alex. Rockies in this 7-game losing streak outscored 62-29, and they're down 4-0 in this one. They have lost 9 straight interleague games going back to last year. 0-8 this season. All the games this year at home. White looking to bunt again. The pitch on the way. He bunts it up the first base side. Grabbed by the first baseman. He'll throw. The second baseman covering the bag, and White gets the bunt now with 2 strikes. Executes that. The runner at second base now is Chris Nelson.
Self-preservation sacrifice bunt, pitch riding up and in on him, and backing up, he was able to bunt that ball into fair territory.
Dexter Fowler singled his first time up, hit a ball to center field. Then he got caught stealing in that first inning. He and Nelson have been the only base runners for the Rockies. Dexter, a switch hitter, hitting left-handed against this righty Jared Parker. Good lead for Nelson at second. The pitch a little bit high, ball 1. Starts Fowler out with a changeup. Dexter just 2 for his last 12 at the plate, and that counts that first inning single today. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Another off-speed pitch, the changeup. Back-to-back changeups thrown to Fowler, and he swung over the top. 1-1. Rockies now 12-12 all time against the Oakland A's. 8-5 in this ballpark. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Fowler. Swing and a miss, and strike two. He got tied up on a fastball there, hit on his hands. 1-2 to Dexter.
Boy, for a guy who walked 12 men in his last 3 starts, he's just been pounding the strike zone.
24 strikes and 10 balls thrown by Jared Parker. 1-2 to Fowler. Dexter hits it on the ground to the second baseman. Rosales has it over to first to get the out, and the side is retired. We have played 3 at Coors Field. The A's 4, the Rockies nothing on the Rockies Radio Network.
Going on just in front of the mound. Scott Garrett, the Rockies' assistant head trainer, Bob Apodaca, Jim Tracy, and the home plate umpire Mark Wegner are gathered around Alex White, and obviously Alex has some kind of finger issue, probably some kind of blister. Of course, he has had a problem in the past with the middle finger on his right hand. That's what had him on the disabled list for a time last year with Cleveland. And the question is that going to be, it might even be a fingernail as I get a closer look. I mean, Alex wants to stay in there, and they're going to let him do so for the moment. We've talked with people on and off the air about Alex White. He is certainly not a finished product by any stretch, but there is a huge amount of I want to get it done. Great competitive fire with this young man. The Rockies aren't going to take many chances. Bob Apodaca's on the phone to Jim Wright, the Rockies bullpen coach. They'll get some warm-up activity underway.
Just never know, Jack, when you're pitching like that. A blister can pop up when it's unexpected. A fingernail issue, like you mentioned, it obviously could be an effect from last year's injury when we saw him up here with the problem with his finger. So you never know when you're out there pitching. Strange things can happen to your hand, your arm, your shoulder, even your fingers at times pitching that baseball.
Guillermo Moscoso is the Rockies' long man, and he is starting to do some stretching out in the Rockies bullpen. Rockies baseball brought to you in part by Mattress King. From Fort Collins to Colorado Springs, Aurora to Avon. Find out why Mattress King says nobody beats the king. Nobody. The A's with a 2-run second and a 2-run third. have their leadoff man Coco Crisp up to start the fourth. He'll swing and foul a pitch over the first base dugout. Crisp with a fly ball to left field in the first inning. Then in the second inning, he had an infield hit in the hole at short. A's have 4 runs on 6 hits and make it 7 as Crisp will roll it up the middle and into center field for a single. Well, and the thing that has got to be pleasing to Bob Melvin and the Athletics, a couple of guys who were scuffling with the bat, Crisp being one of them, and Brandon Moss being another, have had an enjoyable time here in Denver. Cliff Pennington, switch hitter, batting left-handed. Now we see that actually Matt Reynolds is up at the moment and has begun to throw in the Rockies bullpen.
Well, you're right, Moscoso was moving around and stretching, and now he sat back down.
Throw to first to chase Crisp back. 9 for 9 in steals for Coco Crisp, and a record 32 in a row without being caught, a record for the Athletics. Pitch out, nothing happening. Ball 1 to Pennington, who has struck out and flied to center. Wind has picked up a little bit again, but not a huge factor. Temperature now into the low 80s here at the ballpark. 79 degrees when we started. Pitch a little high to Pennington. He checks a swing, and it's 2-0. Well, you just wonder if maybe it happened right at the end of the first inning. Now you could say that because the A's scored in the second and third, but White has not been as sharp as he looked in that first inning, and way inside there. 3-0 on Pennington. He gave up an opposite field hit to Josh Reddick in the first inning, but struck out a pair and looked very sharp, but has had issues since that scoreless first. 3-0 pitch taking all the way. Pennington looks at a strike. You know, you've got Reddick and Smith and Moss. 3 of the next 4 hitters are all left-handed batters. That could be why Matt Reynolds is up. 3-1 pitch is outside, ball 4. Third walk given up by Alex White. One of them was intentional.
I'm with you though, Jack. That command just not there since the first inning. He was very sharp. I mean, he was putting his pitches where he wanted to. A variety of pitches in the spots he wanted. Since that first inning, that just has not happened. You can see it in the body language, if nothing else, after he throws the pitch.
Well, he threw only 4 pitches out of the strike zone in that first inning and has scuffled since. Josh Reddick, a single in the first, a bloop double to start the rally last inning. He'll check a swing, and the fastball runs off the outside corner, ball 1. A's have had base runners on in every inning against White. 2 on here with nobody out. 1-0 pitch is popped foul. Pacheco will take a look, but it's well back into the seats to the left. 1-1. Chevy Sports Desk scoreboard updates for you, brought to you by your Colorado Chevy dealers. They have the Chevy Silverado, the longest lasting, most dependable truck on the road. The Cincinnati Reds have completed a sweep of the Indians at Great American Ballpark. 12-5 they won this afternoon. Pitch to Reddick, swing and a miss. Good sinker there, 1-2. Joey Votto with a 3-run homer in the first inning. Ryan Ludwig had a 2-run homer. The home run streak goes on. 59 games in a row, I think it is now, for the Reds or their opponents in hitting a home run at Great American Ballpark. Former Indian Brandon Phillips, 3 hits and 4 RBIs for the Reds. Pitch in the dirt. Nice block by Willeen Rosario on a slider. 2-2. Reds have won 3 in a row, and they have a 2.5 game lead for the moment on the Pirates, who are playing again in Baltimore tonight. Four nothing A's here. 2 on, nobody out in the 4th inning. Alex White has his sign from Rosario. Checks crisp at second. The 2-2 to Reddick. Swing and a miss. He got him with a running fastball. Strikeout number 5 for Alex White.
He has had very good movement with that fastball there. The 4-seamer that runs a little bit away from a left-hander. We see the 2-seamer that sinks. When he has command of those pitches, he's been good this afternoon. That was an excellent pitch.
Runners stay at their respective bases. 1 out now for Seth Smith. Smith struck out on a high fastball in the first inning, and then walked and scored in the 2-run third. First pitch to Smith is off the glove of Rosario, and the runners will move up. High fastball, and Willeen couldn't glove it. We've had a wild pitch. That's probably going to be a pass ball.
Yeah, that's one where the catcher needs to catch that ball. I know it's well out of strike zone. You got to come out of your crouch, but I think you've got to catch that baseball. That's one you have to put in your glove. He just didn't get it in the pocket of the glove. It hit the outside of his glove and rolled back. I mean, that's one you got to secure.
So the Rockies will intentionally walk Smith now with first base open. Second intentional walk of the day. Jerry Weinstein, the Rockies catching guru and on the coaching staff, said that last night might have been the best work defensively in the brief pro career of Willeen Rosario, at least big league career. But today, day game after a night game, and you want that focus to stay sharp, but maybe just a little bit lax on that pass ball, and it changes the scenario. Brandon Inge now is grounded to short and struck out. Bases full of A's with 1 out here in the 4th. They're already up 4-0. White's pitch to Inge, swing and a miss on a good sinker. Well, last night Matt Cain was perfect. A perfect game, the 22nd in Major League Baseball history, and a win over the Houston Astros. Breaking ball outside, 1-1 on Inge. Amazing. They've had a number of no-hitters, but in the history of the Giants that goes back into the 19th century, they had never had a pitcher throw a perfect game. And Cain did it last night. Struck out 14 Astros as well. 1-1 to Inge, is bounced to short. Scutaro to second. Couldn't get the ball out of his glove for a moment, but Nelson's relay is still in time to turn a double play. Good job by Alex White to work out of trouble. It remains 4-0 Oakland, middle of 4 on the Rockies Radio Network. 4th inning here at Coors Field. Get ready for another great fireworks show Friday, June 29th after the Rockies-Padres game. It's courtesy of Lockheed Martin. All fans are also going to receive a handheld flag for the Independence Day celebration a couple of days early because the Rockies will be on the road for the 4th of July this year. Tickets always go quickly for the fireworks games, so get yours today at any Rockies ticket outlet. Marco Scutaro will lead off the 4th inning against Jared Parker, and he'll look at a pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Marco flied out to center field his first time up, hit it pretty well, but it hung up enough in left center for Crisp to chase it down. Scutaro, Gonzalez, Kadire here in the Rockies' 4th. Parker's next pitch is a strike. 1-1. Jared Parker has allowed 2 singles, hasn't walked anybody, and has struck out 3. And has been the model of consistency with command. Line drive right at the shortstop Pennington. 1 away. Hit it on the nose, but Pennington didn't have to do anything more than raise his glove to grab that.
Marco Scutaro, 4 hits in last night's game, 4 singles, hit the ball hard 5 times, hit the ball hard twice today, but 0 for 2, nothing to show for it, which is baseball.
Back to the Chevy Sports Desk. There was no drama about how long perfection was going to go in San Francisco. Jose Altuve led off the game with a single for the Astros, and the Astros got a Matt Downs homer off Barry Zito in the 2nd inning. So Houston leads the Giants 1-0 in the 3rd in San Francisco. Ball 1 to Carlos Gonzalez, and now ball 2 with a fastball inside. Parker struck out Gonzalez on a changeup first time up. Big shift on again. Rosales way out into right field. There's the changeup, or curveball that time, and it dropped in for a strike right around 80 miles an hour. The 2-1 is hit up the middle, but behind second. That's where Pennington is, and the shortstop will throw to first, and Gonzalez is retired for the 2nd straight time. So the defense was set perfectly that time. 2 other games going on in baseball right now besides this one and the game in San Francisco. The Tigers, the next opponent for the Rockies, have a 3-2 lead on the Cubs in the 8th inning at Wrigley. Justin Verlander pitching for the Tigers. Breaking ball misses for ball 1 to Michael Kadire. He struck out his first time up. 2 outs in the Rockies' 4th. They're down 4-0. The pitch up and in again, 2-0.
Moscoso is up again, I guess up for the first time. He was stretching early out in the bullpen now for the Rockies, and Matt Reynolds has sat down.
The 2-0 pitch is tapped foul. 2-1. The other game is at Tampa Bay in the 9th inning. The Mets have a 9-4 lead. Kirk Neuenhuis with a pair of homers for the Mets. Young man out of the Denver area with 5 homers in his rookie season. Foul to the screen off the bat of Kadire. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Parker, small windup, delivers, bouncing ball hit towards second. Rosales has it, throws over to first, nearly threw it away. Moss stayed with it, and it's a 1-2-3 4th inning for Jared Parker. 4-0 Oakland at Coors Field here on the Rockies Radio Network.
Alex White. We'll try to get word to you if there was, in fact, an injury to a hand or a finger, but Guillermo Moscoso will come on for the Rockies. This Call the Bullpen brought to you by Cheyenne Frontier Days. Country music's hottest stars are in concert with PRCA Rodeo, CBR, bull riding championships, and much more at Cheyenne Frontier Days. Go to cfdrodeo.com for tickets and information, and we'll see you in Cheyenne. Numbers for Guillermo Moscoso. This will be his 5th appearance of the year. 2 starts, 2 relief appearances. He's 0-1 and a 9.56 ERA in 16 innings of work in 2012.
So the former A will face his old mates, trying to keep things at the present 4-0 deficit for the Rockies. If we hear anything on Alex White, we will certainly pass that along. Brandon Moss was a problem for Alex White. A pair of doubles, a run scored and a run batted in, make it 2 runs batted in for Moss. He'll take a fastball for strike 1. A left-handed batter against now a right-hander in Moscoso. Pitch outside and low, 1-1. This is the top of the 5th, brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. 5 Hour Energy, hours and hours of energy. Rockies have a shift on, 3 to the right side of the infield. The pitch swing and a miss through a good fastball by him. 1-2. This has been a puzzle for the Rockies. The guy in the mound, Guillermo Moscoso, based on the way he pitched with these A's last year, especially in the second half. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. This is what they expected to get out of Guillermo, and we'll talk about that more in a second, but I'm a little delinquent with an station ID. Let's pause for station identification. Broadcast of Rockies baseball driven by Mazda. Jack Corrigan, Jerry Schemmel, producer engineer Mike Rotolo. And the first pitch is a breaking ball for a strike into Kurt Suzuki. But Moscoso might have been as good as anybody the A's sent out to the mound every 5th day in the second half of last season. Pitch foul to the screen, 0-2, but between a very bad spring training and a poor start to his year at AAA Colorado Springs, the Rockies unable to find the guy they thought they traded for. He has started to show flashes of it. Now they want to see bigger and more consistent doses. 0-2 to Suzuki, ground ball up the middle, diving stop by Scudero, but he's not able to make the play, and Suzuki's aboard with an infield hit. Marco Scudero is a very solid defender and has been a good shortstop for a lot of years in the big leagues, but he just doesn't have the range that Troy Tulowitzki does. That's a ball that Troy might have been able to get to on occasion when he's healthy without having to leave his feet and make that spin throw. It's hit number 8 for the Athletics. They've had base runners in all 5 innings. Swing and a miss by Adam Rosales for strike 1. Rosales reached on an error with runners at first and third in the second inning. He received credit for an RBI on the play and was intentionally walked in the third inning. 1 on, 1 out, 4-0 A's here in the 5th. Pitch high, and Rosario takes a stroll to the mound to talk to Moscoso. Invite all you Rockies fans to tune into Rockies Weekly with manager Jim Tracy. It takes place every Sunday on Root Sports. They have the week's highlights. You get a chance to win great prizes as well. It's a wonderful show. Rockies Weekly. Visit rootsports.com for official rules on their contests. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rosales. Short lead for Suzuki at first. Moscoso will throw over there anyway to keep the runner close. Tampa Bay trying to come back against the Mets. It's 9-6 now, New York. That game in the 9th inning. Here it's 4-0 Oakland. 1 on, 1 out in the 5th. Pitch is hit on 1 bounce to Pacheco. He'll go to second for 1. Nelson to first in time for a 5-4-3 double play. Halfway through this one, Rockies trail the A's 4-0 on the Rockies Radio Network. With a 2-run second, 1 unearned run, and a 2-run third, have a 4-0 lead. Jared Parker has allowed just 3 base runners, make that 2 base runners. That's right, he has not issued a walk and has given up just 2 singles. He'll get Tyler Colvin, Jordan Pacheco, and Willeen Rosario here in the bottom of the 5th. Colvin swings and fouls it out of play to the left. Bottom of the 5th, brought to you by Applejack Wine and Spirits. Minutes from anywhere at I-70 in Youngfield or online at applejack.com. Ground ball to first base, the initial at bat for Colvin this afternoon. Parker delivers. It's hit hard but foul, and Glenn Allen Hill had to jump out of the way of that one. Strike 2. Parker has a very compact delivery, which helps his ability to hide the baseball. He barely gets his hands up to the top of his head, and a very small body turn. 0-2 pitch high and away. Sometimes doesn't go much past his chin as he raises those arms.
Amazing to me, Jack, how much speed, velocity he can muster up with that body. 6'1" and about 190 pounds. Not a big guy by any stretch, but he can generate some power.
1-2 pitch is fouled right next to us.
With that compact delivery Jack's talking about, the hip turn, he's got some big hips and big upper legs, and I think that's where he gets a lot of his power. That big thrust and turning those hips will really get you going with your upper body.
He's ready with another 1-2, and it's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But again, I don't want to sound like I'm just beating the issue to death, but this was a guy with all kinds of control issues, and he has had very good command. And as I say that, he goes to ball 3, a full count on Tyler Colvin. And as I quickly scan through, this might be the first time he has had 3 balls on a batter. The 3-2 was fouled out of play.
Well, coming in the game, 53 2/3 innings, 29 walks. I mean, that's a huge number of walks for a starting pitcher. To have his ERA down by 3 with all those walks is pretty impressive. He's getting a lot of guys out when he doesn't walk them.
And indeed, this is the first time he's gone to 3 balls on a Rockies hitter. Another foul off to the left by Tyler Colvin. This is the longest at bat for a Rocky. This next pitch will be the 10th. Colvin leading off the Rockies' 5th with Colorado down 4. Another 3-2 swing and a miss, and he might have swung at ball 4. Foul tipped, running fastball at 95, but it ran off the plate, but Colvin committed.
And that is a great example of why everybody talks so highly about Jared Parker. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball from a right-hander that's 6'1" and 190, and it's got good movement on it, away from a left-hander into a right-hander.
Strikeout number 4 for Parker. Jordan Pacheco, a strikeout victim, his first time up on a changeup. Will take it low, ball 1. Back to the Chevy Sports Desk. The Astros are trying to take out their frustrations from the perfect game last night. There's a strike to Pacheco, 1-1. A 4-run 3rd inning highlighted by a home run from JD Martinez. The Astros lead the Giants 5-0. 1-1 pitch pulled foul. 1-2 on Pacheco. In the daytime at home for the Rockies. Of course, the Saturday Sunday marks, and Sundays have been day games and a few Saturday day games here. Bouncing ball foul again. Rockies come into this their 15th afternoon game on the season, and they've won only 3 times in the daylight. I think what Jim Tracy has to do is prohibit the team from watching True Blood when they're on the road. They're just acting too much like vampires, you know. Another 1-2, and Jordan Pacheco swung at a ball for strike 3 on a slider nowhere close to the strike zone. And maybe a little frustration building in for Rockies batters in this game, as they have not been as patient. To Parker's credit, he's getting ahead, and so then when you throw those pitches that may not be strikes, guys feel like they have to swing.
Don't see that very often from Jordan Pacheco, chasing the pitch like he did.
And now Willeen Rosario backs away from a pitch up and in, ball 1. Pacheco has struck out twice. We haven't seen that from Jordan, doing it back to back. Rosario flied out to deep center field, his first at bat. He bounces this towards third. Charging on the play is Inge across to Moss, and Jared Parker in control. We've played 5-4-0 in favor of the Athletics on the Rockies Radio Network.
Field, the top of the 6th inning at Coors Field. The Rockies trailing the A's 4-0. The story, at least one of them in the ball game, Jared Parker, the job he has done against the Rockies. He has shut them down. Just a couple of base hits. A first inning single by Dexter Fowler and a third inning single by Chris Nelson, and that has been it. A couple of errors have helped out the Oakland offense. So in the 6th inning, Jared Parker leads off, 9-1-2 for Oakland. Guillermo Moscoso back on the hill, and the first pitch he will throw is outside and low for ball 1. Last year with the A's, Moscoso 8-10 and a very good ERA, 3.38. He seemed to get better as the year went on. Had some relief appearances early, but mainly a starter the second half of the year. Fastball high and tight, 2 balls, no strikes. Before that, Moscoso with Texas with the Rangers in 2009 and 2010, parts of those 2 seasons. He works from the stretch, the right-hander, with a 2-0 delivery to Jared Parker, and that one is a called strike. 2-1. He set the gloves near the belt, and here comes a 2-1 pitch to Parker from Moscoso, fouled away. Pretty good hack taken there by Parker, and the count is 2-2. He's 0 for 2, a ground out to short and a strikeout in this ball game this afternoon. Moscoso 6'1", 200 pounds, out of Venezuela. Makes his home these days in Lakeland, Florida. A 2-2 pitch on the way. And that's a called strike 3. Fastball right at the knees, and Parker is retired. First out for the A's in this 6th inning, and now back to the top of the order. Coco Crisp will hit. Bob Melvin looking on, the manager for the A's. First full year for Oakland. He took over last June. Plenty of experience, 2 years as the skipper in Seattle and 5 years in Arizona. And that was after a 10-year playing career. Crisp has a couple of singles, 2 for 3 today. Pitch is right there, about belt high, is strike 1. Starts him with a slider. Crisp flew out to left field first inning, and then infield single in the 2nd, and a base hit in the 4th. Switch hitter hitting left-handed as Moscoso is ready, and the 0-1 pitch. Just missed on the outside portion of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jordan Pacheco's up on the grass at third base. Outfield thinking that Crisp is going to hit the other way. Fowler shaded over toward left. And Kadarick well off the line in right field. 1-1 delivery, and it's a bouncing ball towards short. Big hop there for Scudero. He throws to first in time to get Crisp 2 away. Speed Gun today brought to you again by Timothy's of Colorado Fine Jewelry. Buyers of gold, silver, and diamonds now for over 20 years. Timothy'sofColorado.com. 2 down for Cliff Pennington, who's looking for his first hit this afternoon. He has a walk. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly to center. And the Rockies play him about the same way, thinking he'll hit the other way. Fowler stays shaded toward left. Here's a pitch. And the breaking ball caught the outside corner. A slider, strike 1 to Cliff Pennington. Played college baseball at Texas A&M. He was an All-American, a first-teamer for the Aggies in 05. Here's a pitch by Moscoso to him. Puts a bunt down third base side. Charged by Pacheco. No throw. No chance for a play at first base. Terrific bunt put down by Cliff Pennington. A 2-out infield single on the bunt.
Now keeps things going for the A's in that they have had a base runner on in all 6 innings.
The Rockies flirting with that 1-2-3 inning, but they couldn't get it done. Josh Reddick has had a good day. He's 2 for 3. Single, a double, a run scored. He's also struck out. Did that last time against Alex White when he was up there in the 4th. Here's a pitch in the dirt, and a good block there by Willeen Rosario. Pennington holds at first base. Three-game series coming up at Detroit for the Rockies to begin the road trip, then a day off on Monday. 3 at Philadelphia, 3 at Texas. Jeff Francis scheduled to make his second start tomorrow night against Casey Crosby for the Tigers. Pitch by Moscoso on the way. Missed low and outside. 2-0. Saturday, Christian Friedrich against Doug Fister. And then on Sunday, Jeremy Guthrie against Max Scherzer. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Two outs for the A's. Top of the 6th inning. Runner at first base. 4-0 Oakland. The first in a close play, but Pennington's back to the bag. Guillermo Moscoso back in the 5th. Took over for Alex White. 4 innings thrown by Alex today. 7 hits, 4 runs. 2 of those were earned. 4 walks for Alex today and 5 strikeouts. Here's a 2-0 pitch, and it missed outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Moscoso leans in to get a sign. Got it. 3 balls, no strikes is the count. Pennington a little closer now. He's going to take off on 3-0. It's ball 4 to throw to second base, and out at second. Not going to count because it was ball 4. Umpire at second ruled out, but it's ball 4, so safe at second base is Pennington. And down to first base goes Reddick. Pitch was clearly a ball. It was high and away. And that'll get Seth Smith up there with 2 outs and runners at first and second.
You know, almost like Esmil Rogers a little bit. Moscoso pitching well and then gives up the bunt base hit and 4 straight balls to Josh Reddick. It's like, okay, something happened to you, so now I'm going to pull the dirt on top of myself.
And then you have to face a hot hitter, a lefty, and Seth Smith. He has walked twice today. Once was an intentional walk. He struck out the first time. He's had a very productive series, has Seth Smith, against his old mates. Moscoso throw to second. Close play. Scudero covered up the bag, but safe there is Pennington. Strikeout of Parker, ground out by Crisp, and then the infield single on the bunt by Pennington. Now the walk to Reddick, and Smith looking for the first pitch to see from Moscoso. And here it comes, and it's slow and outside. Ball 1 to Seth. Starts Smith out with a changeup. Moscoso starts with the ball in the glove when he leans forward to get his sign. Now he's got the ball in the bare hand. Looks towards second. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Smith, and it missed low and away. And now it's 2-0. 2 changeups back to back from Moscoso, and he missed on both. Says Smith, first 5 seasons of his major league career with the Rockies, starting in 2007 through last year. Hitters count for Smith here. Here's the pitch to Seth. He'll let it go. It's outside. Ball 3. And Moscoso in danger of loading the bases. 3-0 to Smith. He had 2 outs and nobody on. And here's a 3-0 to Seth, and it's a called strike. But he was taken all the way. 3 balls and 1 strike. Fowler still shaded a little over toward left field. Kadire deep in right, and Carlos Gonzalez about straight away in left for Seth Smith. Here's the pitch. No, it's not either. A wheel towards second and a bluff that way. It gets Pennington back to the bag. He's at second. Josh Reddick at first. Moscoso has the sign. Their glance towards second base, and the play out to second, and safe there. Ball popped out of the glove of Scutaro, covering up that bag again. Second time the Rockies have tried to pick off the runner Pennington out there. With the left-handed hitter, Scutaro is the man that's going to cover up that bag, and he's able to play close to it as well. Pennington right back in the spot where he led off from last time. And Colvin playing well behind the runner at first base. Here's a 3-1 pitch to Smith. It's right there for strike. A fastball at 93. And the count full. Runners moving here for the A's. Before we get to the pitch, 10 seconds for station identification on the Rockies Radio Network. Three-two. There go the runners. The pitch is fouled away. Back to the backstop. And we'll try it again. This broadcast of Rockies baseball driven by Mazda. 4-0 Oakland. Jerry Schummel with Jack Corrigan. Producer engineer Mike Rotolo in the booth here at Coors Field. Rockies trying to stop the 7-game losing streak and trying to salvage one in this series against the A's, but down 4-0, and we're in the top of the 6th. 3 balls, 2 strikes to a former Rocky, Seth Smith. Runners on the move. Pennington from second and Reddick from first base. There they go. The pitch swung on and fouled. Back to the screen again. Just catching a piece of that one was Seth Smith. The fastball elevated a little bit that time, and the count still 3-2, and runners back to their bases. Rockies looking to retire Seth for the second time after the 2 walks. And he has hurt them in the first 2 games of the series. In his career for the Rockies, 51 homers and 181 RBIs. 487 games in a Rocky uniform. There go the runners. The pitch again is fouled again. Out of play down the left field side. Battle continues. Seth Smith and Guillermo Moscoso. The at-bat started 3-0 for Seth Smith. Steps out, adjusts the batting gloves like he always did with the Rockies. Takes his time between pitches. Kind of flips that bat around and gets back in the batter's box. Rosario with his sign. Another nope. Wheel towards second again. Not much of a lead at all there for Pennington, and Moscoso just making sure. Smith has scored a run today after the walk in the 3rd inning. He was able to score. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled away again, and the battle continues. Smith and Moscoso. Interesting here, this battle, a good one of 2 players traded for each other. Part of trades that sent one to Oakland and one here to Denver. And now Rosario out to the mound to talk to Guillermo Moscoso.
Now that's 4 straight foul balls on a 3-2 count. This will be the 10th pitch of the at bat.
So Moscoso leans over to get that sign again. Rosario is done with his conversation. He's got the signs flashed. Runners in the move still. There they go. The 3-2 pitch is ball 4. It's low. Boom with several fastballs and came back with a changeup and missed with it. Now the bases are loaded. Second walk in the inning. 2 quick outs, an infield single, then back-to-back walks of Reddick and of Smith. Pennington moves to third. Reddick at second. Smith at first. Brandon Inge is the hitter Bob Apodaca is going to come out to the mound. Coors Field, a great place for group outings. Groups of 25 or more receive discounted pricing, scoreboard recognition, and other great benefits to the ballpark. Call the Rockies anytime for information, and their number again is 303 Rockies, or you can go online and check out the group rates at coloradorockies.com. That game now in Tampa Bay is a final. 9-6, the Mets hold on to get the win, so they sweep the 3-game series interleague play at Tampa Bay, and scoring a bunch of runs in the process. Jason Day back for the Mets had a home run, his 4th of the year. And Kurt Neuenhuis, as Jack mentioned earlier, 2 home runs today. He is now 5 on the year. The Denver native, Denver Christian High School. Here's a pitch to Inge with the bases loaded. Fastball high and tight, ball 1. Brandon Inge is 0 for 3. He's got a couple of ground outs, 1 into a double play. In between the ground outs, a strikeout for the veteran. Moscoso delivers. Pitch is hit in the air to left field. Easy chance here for Carlos Gonzalez. Underneath it, makes the catch to retire the side. So Moscoso leaves him loaded, and then he's pumping his fist coming off the field. He gets out of a jam. Middle of 6, still 4-0 Oakland on the Rockies Radio Network. Back in this ball game, they're down 4-0. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. For the A's, they get 2 runs in the 2nd inning, 2 more in the 3rd, and since then they've had their drought. The Rockies have 2 base runners. One of them is a man at the plate, and he lines this one to right field for a base hit, and that's Chris Nelson. The Rockies with 3 hits. Nelly has 2 of them this afternoon. A solid single to right to get the 6th inning going for Colorado.
Good for Nelly to get some hits against a right-handed pitcher, because that has been difficult for him. He came in hitting well under 200 against right-handers.
Guillermo Moscoso out there now at the plate for the Rockies, looking to bunt, showing bunt early. Here comes a pitch. He'll bunt it up the first base side. A good bunt. Suzuki's got it. He'll throw to first base with Rosales covering the bag. Good execution with a bunt there for Moscoso, getting Nelson down to second base with 1 out. And we'll get back to top of the Rockies order, Dexter Fowler. IBM E-Mentors work with 4th and 5th grade students to help improve their math skills. The kids have created math problems with a baseball theme. You can check them all out at RockiesRadioNetwork.com. See how you stack up with those 4th and 5th graders. It's all part of the IBM Home Runs for Youth program, one of the many ways that IBM connects with kids. Dexter Fowler with the other hit for the Rockies today. First inning single. Last time up, he bounced out to second. He fouls this pitch away. That'll reach the upper deck here at Coors Field. No balls and 1 strike on Fowler. In that Mets win over the Rays to get the 3-game sweep, Johan Santana the winner. He's now 4-3 on the year. Well, the Mets playing better baseball these days. Started out hot, slowed down some, now picking it back up again is New York. Pitch to Fowler, high and outside, and that's Suzuki having to come out of his crouch to grab that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Everything else in American League ballparks is under the lights tonight. The Pirates hit the Orioles this evening. Eric Bedard goes for the Pirates and Tommy Hunter for the home team Orioles tonight. Pitch to Dexter Fowler is high, 2 balls and a strike.
You know, this is where the Rockies hope that the command that has been so good for Parker may finally start to be slipping.
He's in a stretch. Jared Parker delivers a 2-1 to Fowler, and it's low and outside. It's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Rockies bailed him out a little bit last inning, chasing some pitches out of the zone and strikeouts. Dexter trying to be patient here.
He has a count of 3-1. The pitch to him. He checked his swing. It's called a strike. 3-2 on Dexter Fowler. Jared Parker doesn't waste much time between pitches, and Fowler may be trying to slow him down a little bit. Stepped out. Next back in there now. Hitting left-handed. Here comes the payoff pitch to Fowler. It's outside. Ball 4. So there it is. The first walk given up today by Jared Parker. It had so much trouble with control, and finally there's a blemish with it this afternoon. First and second for the Rockies and 1 out.
First time to have a pair of base runners aboard for the Rockies in the 6 innings.
They got 2, 3, 4 coming up. Scudero next. Scudero has flied to center and lined to shortstop this afternoon. 4 hits in yesterday's game. He's hit the ball hard twice today, and looking for that first hit. Nelson at second, Fowler at first base. Parker looked towards second. Pitch to Scudero, almost hit him. He had to jump out of the way of that pitch. Fastball at 93. A little bit of movement and some stirring, some stretching out in the A's bullpen, but nobody throwing quite yet. Imagine Scudero taken here. We'll see. No, he's hitting away, and he'll bounce one foul down the third base side. Thought with Fowler's walk and the pitch not even close in the first offering, he might be taken, but he was not. We're looking fastball and got it. 1 ball, 1 strike to Scudero. Rockies coming in this ball game leading the National League in total runs scored this year. The offense has not been the problem. The pitching has been. No secret about that. And especially the starters. Alex White starting today. Pitch to Scudero, bouncing ball towards second. Big hop Rosales will throw to first base his only play, and he'll get Scudero there. Ball just bounced too often and was hit so slowly that there was no chance to turn 2. So the Rockies get runners at second and third, and now 2 outs.
Now, last night the Rockies missed out on some chances to maybe expand their lead hitting into double plays, and that looked for a moment like it might be, but Dexter Fowler was able to get by Rosales without being tagged. So big moment for Cargo here to try and get the Rockies back into it.
Cargo didn't play in last night's game, but in game 1 he had a couple of different tries at the plate where he came up empty with a chance to do damage. He certainly has that chance here. Second and third, 2 down. Parker is still in the stretch. The fastball is on the inside corner for strike 1. Carlos is struck out and grounded to shortstop today. We have seen a lot of shifts in this series for Oakland. We've got one right now. 3 defenders on the right field side of second base. Pitch, swing and a miss. Big cut taken by Gonzalez on a fastball, and he came up empty. And now he's down 0-2. Leads a team with 48 RBIs. The pitch by Jared Parker, swing and a miss. The ball in the dirt, and tagged out is Carlos Gonzalez, and that is the inning. Wood did the same thing in game one. He swung at a pitch in the dirt with men in scoring position. That takes care of the Rockies. Sixth inning, no damage done. 4-0 still Oakland on the Rockies Radio Network. In the fifth inning, gave up a one-out single to Suzuki, but then a double play ball. Loaded the bases in the sixth inning after 2 were out with a single and 2 walks, but got out of the inning. He'll face Brandon Moss here first in the seventh. Moscoso from the stretch, the former Oakland A. Will deliver the first pitch to Moss, and it's popped up foul. It's out of play. Rockies have their own shift on here for Moss. They have 3 on the right side of the infield. Scudero playing like a second baseman up the middle, and then you got Colvin on the first base side and Nelson right between the two. And Pacheco all by his lonesome on the left side of that diamond. Here's a pitch, and it's outside and high. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the outfield, not quite so pronounced, although Dexter Fowler is actually shaded over toward left now. Fairly straight away in the outfield against this guy, Brandon Moss. A couple of doubles and a strikeout today for Moss. Here's the pitch, and it missed with a breaking ball. Slider thrown by Guillermo Moscoso to Brandon Moss. Kurt Suzuki, the catcher, is on deck. And the pitch. This one's popped up down the left field side. Taking a look is Pacheco, but that one's in the seats over the dugout. Tonight at home, the Rangers have the Diamondbacks. It'll be Daniel Hudson going for Arizona. He's 2-1, and Scott Feldman looking for his first win this season. He is 0-5 for Texas. Rangers lead the American League West with a 37-26 record. Angels behind them by 3.5 games. Pitch by Moscoso on the way. This one into shallow center field. Dexter Fowler comes in several steps, and he makes the catch. 1 away. Threw him there a fastball in the hands. That one at 92 miles an hour. Clocked in the Timothy's of Colorado. Fine jewelry speed gun. One down for the Oakland catcher, Kurt Suzuki. He's got a couple of hits today. 2 singles for Suzuki. Singled and scored in the second. Grounded out to short and then singled again in the 5th inning. Moscoso with his first offering to Suzuki is a breaking ball high and tight, ball 1. Brewers at the Royals tonight. Sean Markham takes him out from Milwaukee. He's got a record of 5-3. Luke Hochevar 3-7 for the Royals, struggling some. ERA is around 6 for Hochevar. Here's a pitch to Suzuki, another breaking ball high and tight. 2 sliders in a row, both at about the same spot, 2-0. Twins at home to the Phillies. Scott Diamond has been a real pleasant surprise for the Twins. He gets a start tonight. He is 5-1 and an ERA of 1.61 for Minnesota. 2-0 pitch, swung on and fouled. 2 balls and 1 strike. Joe Blanton gets a start for the Phillies. He's 5-6 this year. And tonight on the West Coast, one American League ballpark interleague game is the Padres and the Mariners tonight. On the West Coast, Edinson Volquez for the Padres. Erasmo Ramirez will get the start tonight for the Mariners. Here it's 4-0. The Rockies trailing. Pitch by Moscoso to Suzuki. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there. Came back with that slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's determined to throw a strike on a slider to Suzuki, and he did it.
This outing similar to the one he had against the Diamondbacks.
Here's a pitch to Suzuki, and he checked his swing. The ball is hit down the first base side, grabbed by the catcher, throw to first, and Colvin can't handle the ball. Willeen grabbed it barehanded, threw it low, and Colvin couldn't come up with it. Suzuki is safe at first base.
Tough call as to who should make the play. Both Rosario and Moscoso arrived at the ball at about the same time, and an off-balance throw by Rosario, and actually Willeen probably could have taken a little bit more time to make that throw. It got to Tyler Colvin on the fly, just off the ground, so they could have charged the air either way. They're going to charge it to Rosario for the throw.
So 1 out, runner at first base, and Adam Rosales is the hitter, and he swings and misses at the first pitch from Moscoso. He's 0 for 2 with an intentional walk today. Jared Parker is on deck, the pitcher. Suzuki's on board for the 3rd time this afternoon. 3 errors today for the Rockies. Moscoso delivers the pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2.
So far only one of the errors has cost them. Of the 4 runs, just 1 unearned run. That was the 2nd run in the 2-run second.
Adam Rosales, the former Cincinnati Red, played college at Western Michigan, 2 years with the Reds, up and down a couple of times both seasons. Right-handed stick with Suzuki at first base, 1 away. Here's the pitch, and he chopped that one foul at the plate, and his at-bat stays alive. Moscoso with 49 pitches thrown. He has not allowed a run. He's worked out of a couple of jams. Tyler Colvin will hold the runner at first base. Suzuki a short lead on the last pitch, and is going to be the same way here. He doesn't run all that well, and he's keeping tight to the bag. Here's the 0-2 pitch. This one's popped up right side of the infield. Now shallow right. Scudero will check it to Nelson, will make the basket catch out near the line. And holding at first base is Suzuki. Nick Kadire had plenty of time to get there and call off his second baseman, but Nelson stays with it, and they're 2 away. And Jared Parker will come up for the 4th time this afternoon. He is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. So Moscoso trying to make it 3 straight scoreless innings. Rosario set up away. Moscoso delivers. It just fouled back to screen. Jared Parker has not put the ball in play other than one time that weak ground ball to shortstop, but he's taken some pretty good hacks today. There was one there. If he can get on, Coco Crisp will hit. Moscoso ready. The 0-1 pitch is in the dirt, and this time a good block by William Rosario. No chance for Suzuki to advance. 1 ball and 1 strike. Just a great day for baseball today in Denver. 79 when we started, up to 82 degrees now in lower downtown Denver. Moscoso, glove in front of the numbers, working from the stretch, and here's his pitch to Parker, fouled away, off to the right again. Parker a number of times today has taken hacks, fouled the ball away, and then just kind of shook his head. Just can't seem to square one up this afternoon. Right-handed hitter, open stance, pretty upright for the pitcher. And a 1-2 pitch. In the air to right field. Michael Kadyr's got all kinds of room out there. He's camped underneath. He's got it. Side is retired. Nice job by Moscoso again to retire the A's in the 7th inning. It's stretch time at Coors Field. The Rockies trying to get some offense going. They're down 4-0 on the Rockies Radio Network. Well, the Rockies haven't scored a run today, but they're in the ball game, down 4-0 as we get going in the bottom of the 7th inning. So they got their 3 innings left to come up with some offense, but Jared Parker has shut them down for the most part this afternoon. Back in the 6th inning is when the Rockies had their best threat. They had first and second and 1 out, but couldn't get the job done. Scudero ground out and Gonzalez a strikeout. So the cleanup hitter, Michael Kadir, is first here for the Rockies in this 7th inning. He's 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out today. After that big night last night, Michael looking for his first hard hit ball this afternoon. Jared Parker, the right-hander, ready. The 23-year-old delivers. Low ball 1 with a fastball, actually a slider from Jared Parker. Righty against righty. Parker ready. Doesn't waste any time. The pitch is swung on and fouled by Michael Kadir. 1 ball and 1 strike. 10 seconds right now for station identification on the Rockies Radio Network. 4-0. The Rockies are trailing. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jerry Schimmel with Jack Corrigan. Producer engineers Mike Rotolo again this afternoon. Michael Cuddyer at the plate, leading off for the Rockies in the 7th as a count of 1-2. Jared Parker, 81 pitches thrown, 55 strikes, and 26 balls. He has been terrific. The pitch, you sit down the left field line, it's a foul ball, and it's out of play. Out ahead of that changeup by Parker.
Go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say, we were told the fastball, great pitch for Parker. Boy, that changeup's been a dandy today, too.
Well, and that shows the home run total. This youngster has allowed just 2 homers as he works here in his 61st inning of pitching. That's a great ratio.
1-2 to Cuddyer. A ground ball to third. Grabbed there by Inge. He'll set. He'll throw. Dug out on the throw at first base by Moss. Good backhanded dig there by the first baseman. And 1 away. We'll see if Tyler Colvin can get something going for the Rockies in this 7th inning. Our broadcast of Rockies baseball today is driven by Mazda. So Jared Parker didn't like the baseball he got. He'll get a new one, and he'll go to work against Colvin, who is 0 for 2. He is grounded to first and struck out against Jared Parker this afternoon. Young right-hander delivers to Colvin. This bouncing ball foul up the first base side. When Ellen Hill lets that one go. 0-1 on the hitter, Tyler Colvin. Wind up by Parker. Here's the pitch and a ground ball to second base. Rosales has it over to first base to get the out. And 2 quick outs for the Rockies in the 7th inning, both on ground balls.
10 ground ball outs on the day for Parker.
You can follow the Rockies with MLB.com @BAT12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or Windows Mobile. And in that app, you get pitch-by-pitch tracking, highlights, and more. You can text @BAT to 31826 or visit ColoradoRockies.com for details. My daughter has that on her iPhone. She was bragging about it just yesterday. Jordan Pacheco has struck out twice. He's not going to strike out this time. He gets hit by a pitch. He's turned his back and got hit by a changeup right in the small of the back. He's fine. He'll jog down to first base.
Well, as Jerry and I have been talking about Jared Parker and all the reports as he was coming up through the minors, I mean, this guy's already demonstrated it this season what kind of ability. He went 8 innings against Texas and held them to 1 hit. So he has certainly got the capabilities of shutting down an offense when he's throwing strikes.
Lean Rosario, the hitter for the Rockies. He'll look at the first pitch in there for a strike. 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors for Oakland. No runs, 3 hits, 3 errors today for the Rockies. That line score brought to you by Fantastic Sam's. Over 30 metro locations. Don't forget, for $15, every service comes with a free shampoo. It's to Rosario, low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Rockies' young catcher.
And he's been pretty efficient. Well, obviously only 1 walk, a hit batsman, and the 3 hits. This will only be his 89th pitch of the day.
1-1 pitch is in the dirt. Down to second base. Pacheco to throw. Got him at second base. What a play by Kurt Suzuki. A ball bounced away a good 6-8 feet. He grabbed it and threw out Pacheco at second. Inning is over. After 7, still 4-0 Oakland on the Rockies Radio Network. top of the eighth. The Rockies still down 4-0 to the A's, and that'll be it for Guillermo Moscoso. Did a good job for the Rockies in his 3 innings, just 2 hits. He had 2 walks and a couple of strikeouts, but 3 scoreless, and now he'll give way to lefty Matt Reynolds. His pitching change brought to you by Johnny Z's Casino. Change your luck today at Johnny Z's Casino in the all-new Central City. Numbers for Reynolds on the year. This will be appearance number 27. 3-0 the record. 3.91 ERA. 25 1/3 he has worked so far this year with 26 strikeouts, just 8 walks.
It'll flip Coco Crisp around, and he'll hit from the right side. Crisp 2 singles and 4 tries on the afternoon, and he'll take strike 1 from Matt Reynolds. Well, I think Jim Tracy won the fact that the game is still in reach, and you want to take some of these switch hitters and make them bat right-handed. Crisp with a bad swing there on a splitter, 0-2. And then you have Reddick and Smith as left-handed batters. But also Guillermo Moscoso in his outing at Arizona pitched 3 scoreless innings, but then gave up 3 runs when he pitched a 4th inning. Fastball, strike 3 called, and on 3 pitches Crisp is called out on strikes. He walks away from home plate moaning. He did not like the call of Mark Wegner. That is the 8th strikeout for Rockies pitching on the afternoon. Alex White struck out 5 in his 4 innings. White leaving after either a blister or a fingernail issue. We never got a report from the Rockies as to the extent of what caused the departure. Cliff Pennington has been on base twice, a walk and a single his last 2 plate appearances, 1 for 3. The single was a bunt single, a beauty back in the 6th inning. Pitch outside to the switch hitter batting right-handed, 2-0. Pacheco at the cut of the grass at third. The 2-0 pitch outside, 3-0. Through the first 7 innings, the A's have had a base runner aboard in all of the innings, scoring 2 in the 2nd and 2 in the 3rd. Meanwhile, Jared Parker's working on a 3-hitter. There's a strike with a fastball at the knees. 3-1 on Pennington. Rockies baseball brought to you by Mattress King. Be sure and find out why Mattress King says nobody beats the king. Nobody. 3-1 pitch is fouled into the upper deck. Full count. The A's have stranded 11 base runners on the day. The Rockies just 3. And they've had a caught stealing and a caught trying to advance on the bases. Ground ball to Pacheco at third, on over to Colvin. 2 away. You can upgrade your game experience the next time you come to Coors Field by going to the Mountain Ranch Club. Private dining tables with personal TVs, credit for food, beverage, and merchandise with each ticket. For more information on watching from the Mountain Ranch Club, call the Rockies, 303-ROCKIES. Josh Reddick, first pitch swinging, doesn't find the baseball on a good slider from Matt Reynolds. Lefty against lefty here. 0-1. Reddick with a single, a bloop double in the 3rd, just out of the reach of a diving Carlos Gonzalez, and he would score the 3rd Oakland run. Since then he has struck out and walked. Pitch in for a strike. It's quickly 0-2. Reynolds fires this slider. Reddick able to check his swing. Ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rockies really have had only 1 scoring opportunity in the 6th inning. And couldn't come through as Parker struck out Carlos Gonzalez. Fastball just off the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rockies have 3 singles, 2 by Chris Nelson and 1 by Dexter Fowler, and this is a hanging curveball hit a long way into the second deck and gone for Josh Reddick. Boy, Matt Reynolds got ahead, couldn't get Reddick to chase a couple of pitches in the dirt, tried to throw another breaking ball and didn't locate it at all, and Reddick gets his 15th home run of the season.
If you're a left-handed hitter, you're looking, when the pitcher Matt Reynolds ahead of you, you're looking for a breaking pitch, and that's what he got. He just sat on it, and Jack explained it perfectly. It was right over the plate. It hung up big time, about belt high.
For Matt Reynolds, that is the 6th home run he has allowed in 26 innings of pitching, and that's the issue. Since Matt doesn't throw overly hard, when he makes a mistake on the plate, it usually costs him mightily. After missing to Seth Smith, he delivers a strike. It's 1-1. And now on the inside corner, a called strike 2. The A's had the 4 home runs on Tuesday night. That was the first time in 2 seasons they had hit 4 home runs in a game. They had 3 last night. Breaking ball, Smith taps it foul. Count holds at 1-2. So they have hit 8 home runs in the series, 57 on the year. And what's interesting, 30 of those 57 homers have come with 2 outs, like the one from Reddick. Pitch outside, 2-2 on Seth Smith. And the Rockies have given up a lot of home runs on the homestand. The pitch inside nearly grazed the front shoulder, the right shoulder of Seth. Full count on Smith. And the 3-2 is hit hard, and even with the shift through a hole for a base hit. Seth Smith gets his first hit of the day. He's on base for the 4th straight time. 3 walks and now the single.
Yeah, you wonder what Jim Tracy might do here. He's got Josh Reddick ready on the bullpen and a right-handed hitter coming up, but now it's 5-0. With that's a tough, that home run with 2 outs by Reddick. Jack described those 2-out home runs the A's have gotten this year. Those are tough, especially in a game like this where you're battling to stay in the ball game and you give up an extra home run.
All 3 games for Oakland, they've had double digits in hits. 10 on Tuesday night, 11 last night, and Smith's hit their 11th of this game. And the first 2 pitches to Brandon Inge miss for balls 1 and 2. And you also have the fact, Jerry, that not that you are giving up on this game because you've got 6 outs left, but you do have another inning where you've got to have somebody pitch. And you don't want to kill your bullpen, but fortunately for the ballpark, deep enough on that drive by Brandon Inge that Dexter Fowler can grab it on the track and end the inning. But the A's get another run. 5-0 Oakland into the bottom of the 8th on the Rockies Radio Network.
down. We're bottom of the 8th, and a new pitcher now for the A's. So that's it for Jared Parker, and he was outstanding this afternoon. New pitcher is Grant Balfour, and the numbers this way for Balfour. First, the pitching change brought to you by CSU Global. Change the way you play the career game with a master's or bachelor's degree from CSU Global campus. You can find out more at csuglobal.edu. 32nd appearance of the year, so he's been a real workhorse. 1-1 the record, 3.13 ERA, so 31 games, 31 2/3 innings pitched. 26 strikeouts and 13 walks for the veteran right-hander Grant Balfour.
Pitched a couple of scoreless innings in the first game of the series. Didn't allow a base runner and struck out 3. Willeen Rosario, a fly ball to deep center field and a grounder to third against Jared Parker, will lead off the Rockies' 8th. They've been out hit 11-3 and trail 5-0. Parker, terrific this afternoon. Just never gave the Rockies much of a chance to do anything. Rosario takes strike 1 at the knees. 89 pitches for Parker. No runs, 3 hits, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Rosario fouls the next pitch off the facing of the upper deck, and it bangs down below.
Zach and I had a chance to see Jared Parker in spring training last year, but that's spring training. This isn't a regular season game, and we were impressed last year. We were overly impressed today by Jared Parker.
10 of his 21 outs on the ground. Pitch outside from the Australian, 1-2.
We were told with Jared Parker, just a lot of poise on the mound, a lot of confidence. He really knows how to pitch. Boy, you could see that today. He was in complete control.
A 1-2 to Rosario, low and outside again, 2-2. Stay with us after the game for the Rockies Clubhouse Show, brought to you by Country Financial. For a no obligation insurance and financial review, call 1-866-COUNTRY and save up to 15%. Balfour ready. 2-2 pitch is a pop foul that will get over our heads and stay in the upper deck. Balfour was a good off-season acquisition for the A's. Signed as a free agent after pitching for Tampa Bay, and he has done a very nice job in the setup and sometimes closer's role. Bouncing ball towards third, waiting for the hop hinge, gets it over to first. 1 down. Really, with the exception of the ball that put Crisp on the track off the bat of Rosario back in the 3rd inning, Rockies today have not really hit many balls hard. Chris Nelson's been the best of the bunch. He is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. Dexter Fowler led off the game with a single. That's the only other Rockies hit to this point. Balfour gets it in there for a strike on the first pitch to Nelson. From the Sydney area in New South Wales, Australia, is Balfour. Pitch outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Besides the A's and Tampa Bay, he's also pitched with Milwaukee and Minnesota. He is 25-13 in his career. Nelson going after a curveball, conked it foul over by the third base dugout. 1-2. Eric Young Jr. is out on deck. He will pinch hit for Matt Reynolds. The pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball running away from Nelson. That's strike 3 and out number 2. Strikeout number 7 for Oakland pitching on the day. Balfour has now worked 2 2/3 perfect innings in this series. Three singles, a walk, and a hit batsman. 5 base runners for the Rockies. Belfour's pitch to Young is in for a strike. EY 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter in yesterday's ball game. Trying to start something with 2 outs here, and he'll take a pitch under the hands too tight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Giants trying to come back. Chevy Sports Desk scoreboard update. Houston still leading at San Francisco 5-3 over the Giants in the 8th inning. Pitch, Eli drives it to right field, but lots of room for Reddick, who started in and now backs up and makes the catch. And another perfect inning out of the bullpen for Grant Balfour. We'll head to the 9th. 5-0 Oakland on the Rockies Radio Network.
Top of 9, the Oakland A's on the verge of sweeping a 3-game series, and the Rockies leading 5-0. And a pitching change for the Rockies. Pitching change brought to you by the Communication Workers of America, Local 7777. Visit CWA7777.org today for a real voice in your workplace. It'll be right-hander Josh Renicky taking over for Colorado. He's had a good start to this year. This will be his 29th appearance. He has a record of 1-0. ERA now is under 2. It's 1.91, and despite 23 walks, he has a low ERA. 23 walks, 25 strikeouts in 37 2/3 innings.
He'll get Brandon Moss, who did the damage early for the A's. Doubled and scored in the 2nd inning, a 2-run double in the 3rd. Since then, he has struck out and flied to center field. Rockies have the shift on, 3 to the right of second base. And Renicky's first pitch is high, ball 1. In a year in which there has been disappointment so far with the Rockies pitching, Josh Renicky probably the most pleasing part of what has unfolded. He has really done a nice job in a variety of relief roles. 2-0 pitch is hit pretty well to right field. To the wall goes Kadire, and that's gone. Wow. Brandon Moss with a home run in every game of the series 2 doubles today as well. 6-0 Oakland. That ball I didn't think was hit that well, and obviously it was.
I didn't either, Jack. And I look at the wind before that swing, and it seemed to be blowing out or blowing in from right center field. But that jet stream takes it out there, and the ball just kept going. I think Kadire thought the same thing. I think Michael thought he had a beat on it when it came off the bat.
Ended up in the Angels, or in the Athletics bullpen, excuse me, and they get their second homer of the day in as many innings as well. Now Kurt Suzuki, he's been on base 3 times today with 2 singles, reached on a throwing error in the 7th inning by Rosario.
Brandon Moss is not a punch and Judy hitter, is he? Not a singles guy.
Well, he's got 3 hits today. He's got 8 hits on the season, 2 doubles and 5 homers and 1 single. Of course, all they had to do was tell him he was playing at Coors Field. Foul to the screen by Suzuki, and it's 1-2. Brandon Moss has played 11 games against the Rockies now in his career. He is 16 for 33, so just under 500, with 4 homers and 11 runs batted in. So he's knocking in a run every 3 at bats, and he is banging out the extra base hits when he sees the Rockies. 2-2 the count now on Suzuki. The pitch low, full count. For Josh Renicky, that's just the 2nd home run he's allowed all year. Pushes the ERA back up over 2, unfortunately. Ground ball hit hard and into left field past a diving Marco Scutaro at short. And Kurt Suzuki's on base for the 4th time today.
These days, it seems like Coors Field brings out the best in everybody, including the opponents. Suzuki today hadn't been hitting the ball that well. He's got all the base hits. He's got his 3 today. Talked about Brandon Moss. Teams with lots of players coming in here, loving what the ball is doing at Coors Field.
Adam Rosales is 0 for 3, but he knocked in a run. Checks a swing and a pitch low, ball 1. Reddick, Moss, and Suzuki all have 3 hits. Coco Crisp has a pair. Pitch high, 2-0 on Rosales. So, and you would figure in the process too, the most dependable guy for, well, really since he put on a Rockies uniform for the first time, Rafael Betancourt couldn't get it done last night. And now you have maybe the 2nd most dependable guy so far this year, Josh Renicky, and he's gone to 3-0 on Rosales. He's given up a home run and a single, and there's a strike. But it still really gets back to the very start, if you'll pardon the pun, the starting pitching. It just sets the tone for so many other things. There's ball 4, and Rosales draws a walk. That is the 7th walk by Rockies pitching today. They've issued a few intentional walks, but you limit what a manager can do strategically when starting pitching isn't good. You put added pressure on the offense, the defense, the bullpen, and it becomes a mindset. It's just that a starting pitcher struggles a little bit, and all of a sudden everybody else is kind of trying not to, but perhaps in the back of their mind thinking, here we go again.
I think that's very legitimate, Jack. I think it happens all the time.
And Renicky misses outside, ball 1. Josh, who If he has a weakness, it can be control at times. That walk was his 24th on the season. Johnny Gomes pinch hitting for Balfour. He swings and bloops it into short right field. Colvin, an over the shoulder catch, makes the play for the first out. Very nicely done by Tyler Colvin.
It was almost like he was playing outfield. He looked up and looked down a couple of times to see where he's running to, and then the second time he's able to pick the ball back up and make that catch. Jim Tracy described him yesterday as a fluid defender, even at first base, and he showed that fluidity there.
First out in the inning, the runners Suzuki and Rosales were able to get back. To the top of the order, and Coco Crisp back hitting left-handed. He'll take ball one low. Crisp with 2 hits today. He's batting for the 6th time, and that tells you something about the day. The opposition's leadoff man makes that many plate appearances. Bouncing ball foul. Ty Waller, the first base coach, handled it. 32,527 the crowd here this afternoon. Our attendance is always brought to you by Wells Fargo, and Wells Fargo invites you to check out their 2-for-1 club level ticket opportunity. Go to wellsfargo.com/Rockies for all the details. Wells Fargo, NA, member FDIC. One pitch to Crisp is hit up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Suzuki will round third and score, and the Angels lead it 7-0. Coco Crisp gets his 3rd hit of the day, just his 12th RBI. Rosales stopped at second, with the A's adding on late to perhaps remove any doubt to this one.
And Josh Renicky just doesn't have that crispness we usually see with him. He's got that slider that usually has that late hard break to it. It's not doing that this afternoon.
Cliff Pennington 1 for 4 on the day, takes strike 1. We'll get you station break here in a moment. $14 hits for the A's. That tops their total. And that pitch misses. It's 1-1. Let's pause. Station identification time on the Rockies Radio Network. This broadcast of Rockies baseball driven by Mazda. Curveball drops in for a strike. It's 1-2 for Renicky against Cliff Pennington. 1 for 4 for Pennington, plus a walk. The hit, a bunt base hit back in the 6th inning. Pitch fouled off to the left and out of play.
How about the Oakland A's coming in offensively, last in the American League in runs scored, but they put up 8 runs the first inning, 10 runs in last night's ball game, and they've got 7 more this afternoon.
But in their 7 games before they got here, they were averaging almost 6 runs a game. So they came in with their offense cooking, and it has taken advantage of bad Rockies pitching to be even better. Pitch in the dirt, 2-2. White, Moscoso, Reynolds, and Renicky have been on the mound. Moscoso the only one to escape without allowing a run. He went 3 scoreless innings. White gave up 4 runs, 3 earned. Reynolds gave up a home run, and Renicky's allowed 2 runs here. Ground foul ball. Still 2-2. Yeah, when you have multiple guys making 6 plate appearances in a game. That means the other side's not pitching very well. Pitch in the dirt, and it gets through the legs of Rosario, and the runners will move up. 3-2 the count now on Pennington. The Rockies have had 3 errors on the day. They've had a wild pitch and a pass ball, and we'll see if that one is going to be a wild pitch or a pass ball. And Josh Renicky has not been sharp. It's ruled a wild pitch. The 3-2 is bounced to second. That would have been a double play ground ball. The ground ball instead produces out number 2, but run number 8 as Rosales scores on the ground out by Pennington.
It's kind of the things that happen when you're in a losing streak right there. Instead of a double play ball, which probably would have been turned fairly easily, you end up with 1 out instead of 2, and then a run scored by the other team.
3rd run of the inning, and the 8th of the day overall for Oakland. And Josh Reddick will get a chance to hit again. Reddick swings and slices it foul down the left side. Reddick has a single, a double, and a homer, so he's got a shot here and certainly has the speed to get that triple and hit for the cycle. Also walked today and struck out, 3 for 4 officially. The home run last time up in the 8th inning was his 15th. A backdoor slider drops into the left-handed batter for a called strike 2. Renicky delivers strike 3 as Reddick foul tips it into the glove of Rosario. That ends the inning. But Oakland scores 3. We head to the bottom of the 9th. A's are on top 8-0 on the Rockies Radio Network.
In the bottom of the 9th inning, and a new pitcher will come on for Oakland, and it's a familiar face and name. It's Brian Fuentes. He will come on for the A's for the 24th time this year. The lefty has a record of 2-2, a 5.24 ERA. So from that bullpen, 22 in his 3rd innings in his 23 appearances this year. 16 strikeouts. Has limited the walks. He's only walked 5 on the season, giving up the 23 hits.
Rockies will have the top of the order against Fuentes in the bottom of the 9th. Dexter Fowler, who has one of the Rockies' 3 hits, a single to start the day for the Rockies, but was thrown out trying to steal. Dexter's also walked, so 1 for 2 officially. Hitting from the right side against the southpaw, and the pitch is outside and low, ball 1. Fuentes will work from the stretch, and the pitch is low, 2-0. Dexter swings and misses at a fastball. Still at 92. Brian probably can't get the consistency of that velocity now, but when he needs to, he has that chance to reach back and fire it. The 2-1 is low, 3-1. The 3-1 is a strike at the knees on the outside corner. Dexter doing what he should with the Rockies down big. They need lots of base runners. He was not going to expand, but the strike is called. Now the 3-2 pitch. Hit towards third, charging Inge, gloves, throws on the run, and Moss makes the grab. 1 away. Rockies have been banging the ball on the ground today. That's a dozen ground ball outs. If you'd like to know, for those of us who always still try and find the optimistic side, in 2008 the Tigers were down 13-4 to the Milwaukee Brewers and scored 10 runs in the 9th inning to win 14-13. Rockies only need to score 9.
It's definitely possible.
There you go. That's the beauty of baseball. It always is. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Marco Scutaro takes strike 1. Marco 0 for 3 today. Trying to keep a hitting streak going. He had collected hits in the last 5 games. Pitch outside and off the glove of Suzuki. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fuentes, he's set. And Brian pitches. Strike 2 called outside part of the plate around the knees. A long look into Suzuki. Now with the glove at the belt. A pause and a pitch outside, 2-2. Pretty good gap in left center field. Crisp is over towards right center and shallow. 2-2 is hit pretty well to left field. Going back is the left fielder Smith to watch it go. Marco Scutaro. Touch him all time. Gets his 4th home run of the season. The Rockies avert the shutout. And they've got one of those 9 runs they need. It's 8-1 Oakland.
Marco Scutaro pretty remarkable in terms of driving in runs. That's 13 RBIs in his last 15 games. His first 45 games he had a total of 4. He's getting almost 1 per game these days after a very slow start those first 45.
And with that Rockies home run, the Berg Simpson Law Firm makes another generous donation to Craig Hospital. Carlos Gonzalez now lefty on lefty, and he'll take ball 1. So for the crowd that has not had much to cheer about, they get a late inning boost from Marco Scutaro. Marco keeps his hitting streak alive. Cargo looking to do the same, and the pitch to him is outside 2-0. Brian Fuentes allowing his 4th home run of the season. 2-0 pitch. Hit up the middle and off. Fuentes caroms towards first, but there won't be a play. And Carlos is aboard with a base hit off the backside of Brian Fuentes.
Well, good to see that from Carlos Gonzalez. He's had some tough at-bats today with a couple of strikeouts and a ground out to shortstop that was a weakly hit ball. To hit a ball hard to finish up a game and a series, hopefully that's something you can build back up with real quickly.
Michael Kadire trying to find a place to drop a ball. He's 0 for 3 on the day after the big 4 for 4 night last night. You'll look at an off-speed pitch that drops in for a strike. First baseman Moss playing behind Gonzalez, but not all the way back. 0-1 pitch missed with a fastball, 1-1. The 1-1 is low and in, 2 balls and a strike. Rockies had been shut out a couple of times here this season at Coors Field, but the Scutaro homer takes care of that. And Gonzalez at first with Kadire trying to keep this going. Low again, 3-1. Well, the last thing Bob Melvin wants is to have to heat up another guy in his bullpen. He's got the luxury of still having a 7-run lead that he can stay with Brian Fuentes. 3-1 to Kadire is hit pretty well to right center field, but he got under it. And Coco Crisp will make the catch for the second out. By law, we must tell you this is a copyrighted broadcast presented by the authority of the Colorado Rockies. It may not be reproduced in any form without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. Speaking of legal, the Berg Simpson Law Firm is on your side. Berg Simpson, good lawyers changing lives. So Tyler Colvin facing a lefty in Brian Fuentes. 0 for 3 will try and keep this game alive. Gonzalez, not being held on now, will move down to second uncontested on defensive indifference as Colvin looks at ball 1. Tyler has grounded out twice and struck out, all of those against the starter Jared Parker. Pitch outside corner, a strike with a fastball. 8 runs on 14 hits for the A's, a run on 5 hits for the Rockies, and 3 errors. But only 1 impacted on the scoring. 1-1 pitch way outside. Nice scoop by Kurt Suzuki. Kurt Suzuki's caught more games than any other catcher over the last 5 seasons in the big leagues, and boy, does he do a good job behind the plate.
He's smooth back there, and he Jack, just those kind of blocks like that, just almost effortless.
2-1 to count on Colvin. Check on Gonzalez. Fuentes delivers, and Colvin fouls a fastball away. It's 2-2. If Tyler can reach safely, Jordan Pacheco will try and do the same. Rockies still down 7 and down to their final out. Gonzalez checking Pennington, who's playing up the middle right behind him at second. 2-2 pitch is hit down the left side, slicing away from Seth Smith. Fair ball into the left field corner. Gonzalez will come home, an RBI double for Tyler Colvin. It's 8-2 Oakland. Tyler Colvin just continues to hang in there against left-handed pitching.
And I love what he did with that pitch too, an inside-out swing and hit the other way. Tyler got into so much trouble last year with the Cubs trying to pull the ball. He's not doing that these days. The result is a much higher average, and even the home runs have gone up as a result.
6th double of the year, his 20th run batted in. An 8-2 game. Jordan Pacheco 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, hit by a pitch against Jared Parker. He'll take ball one inside from Brian Fuentes, who got Dexter Fowler, gave up a homer to Marco Scutaro. An infield hit off of Fuentes by Gonzalez, and with 2 outs, the Colvin RBI double, and now ball 2 outside to Jordan Pacheco. Jim Tracy says the thing he likes best about this club is they're not going through the motions through all these difficulties. Pitch low, 3-0. Jim and I talking about that on the Breaks Plus Rockies on Deck show, on the Jim Tracy show portion of that pregame, that people think there's a lot of bad things going on way outside. Ball 4 to Pacheco, and now you've got 2 on for Willeen Rosario. And Jim said if there was a bad attitude or problems with this team, you'd see a listless ball club. And this Rockies club, I mean, in a game down 8-0 in the 9th inning with 1 out and nobody on, they have kept things alive.
And to me, Jack, that's not a surprise, knowing as much as I do the personalities players. I mean, this is by design. They have brought team-oriented players to this club that no matter what happens with this team, no matter what happens in a game, they're not going to get down. They're not going to snipe with each other. It's not in their makeup.
Yeah, I mean, they know the starters are struggling, but they just have to keep going at it. There's 100 more games after this one. Willeen Rosario will look at strike 1. Took a pitch after the walk to Pacheco. Willeen is 0 for 3. Has flied to deep center and has grounded twice to third. 2 on, 2 out, 2 runs home. Rockies down 8-2. Pitch to Rosario way out in front of the classic Fuentes changeup at about 74 miles an hour. I would guess they'll try and do that again. They do, and it's swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's the game. Rockies score a pair in the bottom of the 9th, but they end up being swept by the Oakland Athletics. Final score this afternoon: Oakland 8, Colorado 2 on the Rockies Radio Network.